jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, I'm back. Season 2, we here. Next level, bigger and better. Let's go.
See me letting go. I'ma lose control. I'm not afraid to fall. Watch me drink it in and feel it all.
8 p.m. Monday night, so you know it's time to tune in to the Afterglow show. Shout out to Kofi and the fam, you rattlers, the football historian. The audience is pouring in at this time like Jackson State playing Grambling. Both hosts like quarterbacks, but ain't scrambling. The ALCORN state of mind that I'm in got me blending in, but standing out like tiger skin. Shout out to TSU and all the recruits, turning down big schools for HBCUs. They changed up the scheme, so we changing the scenes. Money for our likeness is nice, but this means we gotta give it all that we got in this game. Black college grad myself, I went to pain. Pick, run, hit, or throw, that's your option. Discussing the coaches, wins, and the losses on the Afterglow.
See me letting go.
Scotty, you went crazy.
I'ma lose control.
Every Monday night at 8,
I'm not
super crazy.
afraid to fall.
Featuring
Watch me
Kofi and your boy
drink it
Scotty.
in and feel it all.
You know what time it is?
Go,
Let's,
go,
you heard me. Let's,
go,
season 2.
go.
Enjoy.
streets, and we ain't talking about football, baby. It's the Afterglow show. Listen, and let me give it up for my today. You already know my co-host. Go away.
What up, boy? What up, boy? Stop acting funny. What up, boy?
What is wrong with you? Oh man, listen, you feeling real? You feeling real happy? You won something. You won.
That's 2 in a row. I mean, it ain't like we lose every game at FAMU.
Really, Division 2? We counting Division 2 wins? That's what we doing?
Yeah, we count them too. We need them.
Wow, 2 in a row.
Jackson State lost to Kentucky State a couple of years ago. They don't have to win.
I mean, I'm just saying, D2 though. That's the standard we're setting. Oh, we got 2 in a row.
Hey, we gotta win, bro. We count them. We count them all.
Wow. All right. Listen, before we get to today's show, listen. Everybody's seen the news going around that happened with the ALCORN player, Tyler Smith. His mom and his sister passed away in a car accident. Listen, in the description below, you will find the GoFundMe for the player. Please, I ask everybody on here to donate something, okay? You're talking about a young man whose mom and sister came to watch him play, and leaving the game, they passed away. Please, please, in the description below, there is a GoFundMe for the funeral expenses, for the memorial, you know, whatever you can give, 20, 50, 100. I saw somebody gave $1,000. Like, listen, just give cheerfully and willfully and just bless that young man and his brother. It's 2 brothers. So it's him and his brother down in Delta Community College. I mean, Delta State. I think, no, Delta Community College. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a sad story, but we're doing all we can. And I'm going to push this message until I can't push it no more. So please donate. All right. That's what y'all supposed to be family, right? That's what it is. HBCU, we family. I need the commissioner saying something too. I need him out there. I need everybody, all hands on deck, okay? Because that's what leaders do. You want to say the SWAC community, be a community, and embrace that young man and do what he can for his brother. But yeah, man, so I wanted to get that out. So make sure you go to the description below, donate what you can, 5, 10, 20, it don't matter. Just give, all right? Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. All right, listen, before we go any further today, there's a story time that I want everybody to hear. And it's from a special young lady. It is from Kofi's daughter. She got a story time for you all, for everybody out there, of how dealing with her father.
I got downstairs, and yesterday I went to Crumble Cookies. Crumble. I come downstairs, bro. And my box is empty. I see my dad nibbling, chomping on some chicken and rice. And I look at him, I'm just staring. He's talking about something. What? I said, my box is empty. Clearly something's off because you ate my cookie. He's talking about something. Oh. I had a nibble, but I didn't it was just good. It was just a clue. I had a little crumb, but I bet you your black self is gonna get me another cookie.
That is the daughter that listen, man, it ain't easy living with Kofi. It ain't easy living. You gotta keep all cookies in the gotta keep all cookies. Match, did he ever give you a cookie back?
No.
Hey, my man, get the cookie back.
He did not give my cookie back.
What we doing, bro? We over here.
It's 24 hours. Everybody know. It's 24-hour rule. That cookie was sitting up there for at least 20 hours. And it wasn't just any cookie. It was a darn crumble cookie. It's got thickness to it. It's got icing on the top. And I sat there and I watched it for 24 hours. So I said, after that 24 hours, if it ain't all gone, I'm going to take a little nibble. And after I took that little nibble, I took another nibble. And after I took that nibble, I took another nibble because nobody coming for the cookie. So,
boy, Boy, you a savage, bro.
Trying to tell you, boy, you bring that good food up in there in 24 hours. If it ain't gone and it ain't got no note on it, it's gonna be gone.
Bro,
Everybody know that.
Bro, you a savage, bro. No. 1, 2, no. Boy, you a savage. Boy, listen. Boy, you different, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, if you was my pops, we've been fighting. It's just the principle.
Look, and I think it comes from me being traumatized as a young kid. Like, okay, so we went to McDonald's and we gone to McDonald's and everything. And my daddy, I got my first quarter pounder. I got my first quarter pounder with some fries and everything. And I was sitting down at the table and eating, and he said, boy, let me get a bite of that burger. And I was like, you could have got your own burger and everything. He said, boy, I didn't pay for the burger. Give me a bite of that burger. So I was like, okay. Man, that Negro got the burger and he did like this. And bit about half of the darn quarter pounder. Boy, I was some kind of red hot. But I couldn't say nothing because my daddy, that was my daddy. But I was giving him some kind of side eye. I was some kind of hurt, boy. I was some kind of red hot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on her story. I said, Keith, we gotta say that. I said, I'm gonna throw that at him on Monday. I forgot. Keith came.
Yes. If you leave your stuff out there for 24 hours, it's gonna be gone. Greedy, call me the Cookie Monster. I'm taking your stuff.
I was talking to Kiki. Was like, "Are you gonna use the video?" I was like, "Oh shoot, I totally forgot." Yeah. So that a little story time. Not done by me. But hey, let's get back into some football. Monday Night Football. Dallas versus the Giants. Listen, you're lucky I'm doing the show. You're lucky I'm doing the show because I should be watching the game right now. But go ahead. Dallas versus Giants. Who you got?
The Giants playing good ball right now. But I like the mentality of the Dallas team going into this game because nobody's like giving them an opportunity to win. Everybody's like, the Giants are going to win this straight out. So I'm going to go with Dallas in a tight one because Daniel Jones ain't necessarily beat a clock beater, but I'm going to go with Dallas in this one. I'm going to say 21-17.
Oh, I don't see it that high. For me, it comes down to stopping Saquon Barkley. Dallas has to stop Saquon Barkley. Michael Parsons, I think he's sick, but he's playing through it. LT's coming to see him, so it should be a game that he gets up for. It comes down to can Dallas establish their running game, not with Ezekiel Elliott, but with Tony Pollard. So I have the game being a little, I'd say, well, I was going to say like 2017 or 2014 Dallas. Yeah, so it wasn't that far. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see it scoring. I think it's going to be a lot of field goals. I might not even go that high, really. I think like 17-10. Yeah, I say 17-10. 17-10. Listen, I don't think neither one of these teams are offensive juggernauts, especially not with Cooper Rush. So it's going to be a defensive game and running the ball. I think they're both going to have to play defense and run the ball. But I got Dallas winning this one 17-10. All right, listen. So, it wouldn't be a SWAC show, right? It wouldn't be a HBCU show if Dion wasn't being Dion.
What the ninja done said now.
Always got something to say. I mean, like, golly. People be talking about, I got something to say. My man always got something to say. So this is what Dion said in his coach's interview for the week 4. Here we go.
He mentioned upon the Heisman race. That's up for you guys. And quarterback should be mentioned upon the Heisman race. That's up for you guys. And I want you guys to push those pens, push those computers, and do what you can, because you put his numbers up next to the guys in Power Fives. He's doing as much or more than they're doing right now. So when they start talking about Heisman's, which I saw before the previous game, I got a little upset that they didn't mention us, period. And then they mentioned what Shador is doing. Forget that he's my son and his last name is Sanders. Any other man doing what he's doing and accomplishing what he's accomplishing this far, this early on, deserves the recognition. It's all. Thank you for allowing me to have a dad moment.
What is he doing? He's not even leading in the FCS. Make that make sense to me. And if anybody has an issue and they like, Scotty, you don't know what you're talking about, let me show you. All right? Please, let me zoom in, right? Tim Dormat, whatever, has 16 passing touchdowns, okay? He's leading in that category. What else would you like to go to? Would you like to go to the passing yards? Let's go there. He's also leading in passing yards. Shador isn't even leading in FCS, so explain to me how he should be in a Heisman race. What are we?
Well, let me say this. So the man is coaching his son. I kind of understand it, and he's doing the little marketing thing. I think he's trying, honestly speaking, this is just me, but I think he's trying to set Shador up maybe for next year. I don't think he's legitimately serious about this year, but I think he's legitimately trying to put his name out there. So when next year comes around, it'll be a legitimate, what we call it, campaign.
He can't win the Heisman. He cannot. You cannot, as an FCS player, you cannot.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Steve McNair was a legitimate candidate for the Heisman.
That's why they have the Walter Payton Award.
I get it. But, you know, they're going to push the bar. This is the swag. I'm just saying he's going to be a candidate. His name, prepare for his name to be out there.
Oh, how can it when you're playing against trash competition?
Okay, I can get that.
And this is my thing with Dion. This is what makes it's such an asinine statement. He's the same person complaining that he can't. Oh, why would we go play FBS? We can't compete in the trenches. Oh, you're talking about the same trenches that Bryce Young has to go up against? Are you talking about the same trenches that the white boy from Georgia has to go up against? Are you talking about the same trenches that all the high-level Power 5 quarterbacks have to go against? And then you're talking about in the SWAC? In the SWAC? And this is the same coach that won't even play up. But you want to crown your son as he needs to be getting a hot. That is asinine. That you can't just be out here saying whatever.
I get that, but, you know, who you talking about? I mean, we just had a whole scriptural study last week talking about you talk too much. So you're talking about the king of promo. He is going to, he promotes himself. He promotes his brand. He's going to promote his son. This should be really no surprise at this time. And I think, honestly speaking, he's not a real true candidate this year, but next year they're going to be pushing him for that whole Heisman.
Dog, he's not playing nobody. What are you talking about?
I'm just telling you what fits to happen. You can do this all you want to. You can holler, you can scream. He's going to be a candidate.
Competition. You don't play. Nobody in the SWAC has played a ranked FCS team other than Alcorn. That's it. The rest of you Bamas are too scared to even schedule anybody. Y'all still playing. Y'all Bamas, yes, your team, FAMU, has been playing Albany State for the last 3 years.
We only play Albany State this year now. You need to stop.
You didn't play them last year?
No.
Play Fort Valley, another D2 school.
That might be true.
What ranked opponent have you ever tried to schedule in FCS? None.
Well, none lately. And honestly speaking, it's been revenue. They've been chasing after the revenue for that. And I don't have no excuse because I don't make the schedules, but it's not like FAMU hadn't done that before. For the record, I'm in agreement with you. I'm just letting you know he's going to be a candidate. He's going to be an all-out candidate next year. You best believe.
Dog, Really, bro? That is.
I mean, it is what it is.
This is just ignorance. It's just pure ignorance. Like,
and I don't even have a vote in this thing, but I'm just letting
oh
he's gonna be a candidate.
God, it's such ignorance. It's because it's like you don't care about the rankings until you get in the rankings. You don't care about the playoffs because you said the Celebration Bowl is better. Then he's in the Heisman race, but they don't want to play no competition. Make this HBCU football makes no freaking sense. I need to jump my ass over to the MEAC because they care about football. They care about playing people. That's how you have a North Carolina Central scheduling. Now, I will say this. I hated that they played back-to-back D2 schools or the Winston-Salem State and the Virginia Lynchburg. I absolutely hated that. But other than that, they play football. They play out-of-conference opponents. They actually care. Listen, man, it comes down to ALCORN. ALCORN loves to schedule people. Alabama A&M, I'll give them credit because that first 3 games were pretty tough. But the rest of y'all bums, y'all don't like to schedule nobody.
Texas Southern schedule people, don't they? Don't they play Incarnate?
Did they play
Prairie View? Or is that Prairie View?
That was Prairie View.
Okay.
That was a pretty good game, too. They lost, but it was a pretty good game. But, yeah, man, like, y'all Bamas don't be caring about football. Y'all Bamas don't be caring about football. Y'all care about attendance and money. And then Mr. Campbell calling here, FAMU, we don't leave the state of Florida unless we get paid. Y'all Bamas don't care about football, man. Y'all Bamas kill me, man. All right, week 4 recap. Get into these games. You got Bethune, Grambling. They got, you know what? After I watched the first half, but I watched the second half this morning. That game actually wasn't as bad as the score really says. It really wasn't. If you watch the game intuitively, it really wasn't as bad as the score says. Grambling, man, listen, they just had so many miscues. It's ridiculous. Texas Southern versus UTSA. That game I watched. That game was absolutely amazing. ALCORN versus UAP is pretty much number 0 versus everybody. I mean, that's pretty much what that game was. What else we got? Jackson State versus Valley. We knew what that was. Merrimack versus Delaware State. St. Francis, PA versus Norfolk State. Do I have anything else? And the butt whooping of the week. South Carolina State.
Get up for the Aggies.
They got their butt whooped. Where you want to start at, Kof?
Wherever you want to, man. Let's start with Cookman and Grambling because I saw this one coming. Just Cookman is a much better team. They create a matchup nightmare with Kamari Everett, especially if they can find a way to get him the ball. They are really fast. They are athletic. Their defensive backfield is super quick, and they come to play every week. And when you make mistakes and miscues, that plays right into their hands, and they build that momentum, and then they beat you. So you have to be really disciplined and play, I want to say, a physical brand of football that doesn't make mistakes. If you're a mistake-prone team, Cookman's going to beat you.
My issue with Grambling is their wide receivers cannot catch. I mean, God, that boy – I'm sick. Listen, whoever, and Blue, you on here too, so I know you in them coaches' calls. The next week, somebody got to ask Hugh Jackson, why is J.R. Waters still playing wide receiver? He can't catch. He cannot catch. And it has been time after time after time. Quintarius Hawkins has thrown to him in big moments, in big situations, and he has dropped the freaking ball. I'm like, how is he starting over Faison? How is this kid even starting? And it was just, when you watch the game in the second half, Grambling literally would charge down the field. And they literally could do whatever they wanted against Bethune-Cookman defense. If you didn't watch the game in the second half, you're lying if you're telling me that Grambling could not move the ball on Bethune. They were going up and down on Bethune, but it always came down to Bethune getting a fumble, getting a strip, a big time drop. Hugh Jackson thinking he got freaking what's that Bama from the Ravens, that kicker, Justin Tucker? He act like he got Justin Tucker trying to kick some 40-yard field. Bro, you in the swag. Okay? You got swag kickers. Stop playing with me, all right? You ain't got no Justin Tucker. Stop it, all right? So he over here trying to kick a 45-yard field goal, gets blocked and ran back and stuff like that. So it was a lot of miscues on Gramblin's part. I think, like you said, Bethune capitalized on a lot of them, but Grambling, they got to do better, man. God almighty.
There now, and there's really no at the end of the day, there's no real excuse. I mean, you signed up the coach, you signed up to field the team. Grambling's not, they're not a bad team, but they are building. I want to say towards the future, especially in first year communication. Sometimes that language can get crossed, but if you sleep on them, you'll get beat. So they're definitely not a pushover.
And somebody brought this up. Yes, these Bama used 3 timeouts on 1 drive. If that's not horrible game management, I don't know what is. Like, just take the delay of game, bro. It's okay. Like, timeouts are valuable in the second half. Just take the delay of game and then punt the ball or do whatever you do. But come on, 3 timeouts in 1 drive, Kofi.
Right.
And I'm talking about like 12 minutes into the third. I ain't even talking about like, you know, the first half, man. It was just bad all the way around. Bad game management. Players not being able to hold on to the ball. Just crazy stuff. I don't know if you watched the Texas Southern UTSA. You already know. Listen. Andrew Buddy!
They coming, boy. I was low on these boys, but they slowly becoming a sleeper. They got to show me one more something on the West side, and they could definitely finish top 3.
Man, the way the West is shaping out, man, you're absolutely right. It could literally just go either way. The way. Listen, they were 40-point underdogs in the.
They ball. This team has belief. They're thinking that they know. I believe that their identity is starting to come forth, and knowing who you are helps you to be able to play in purpose, and that's a big deal. So
yeah, I hope they can build on top of this because this is because listen, man. Word on the street is that if Clarence McKinley didn't win that game, he was fired.
What game? Talking about the Southern game?
Oh, yeah. Word on the street is that if he didn't win that Southern game, that boy was out the door. And I'm mad. I am so mad because I want him gone so bad. But to each his own. But you know, he's fighting on, man. Listen, what's that distant? I'm a survivor. That boy is surviving, okay?
Look.
He is living on.
And here's the thing about Texas Southern. And again, it's really the challenge for the rest of HBCU football to really take it serious and get your house in order. You know, if we're serious about being competitive at a higher level, we've got to invest in our program that's being all in. Texas Southern has the ability. They've got the location. They've got the commitment to be able to be top 3 in the SWAC every single year, or a top 20 football program being right there in Texas.
Yeah.
They can do it.
Yeah.
They can do it. There's no excuse, but the fans aren't invested, and the president isn't as invested as they need to be, and consequently you're getting an inconsistent product, which really could be a whole lot more consistent.
I think I absolutely agree, Kofi, and I hope that, and I think that at the same time, you have to put an onus on Texas Southern to do better promoting of their players. You know what I'm saying? Of Ladarius Owens, of Zay Hamilton, of Tariq Cooper, of Andrew. And come on, I mean, I ain't want to just start with Andrew. You
got to start with Andrew Body. He's the man.
You know what I'm saying? Ja'Cory Howard and all those young stars that they have grooming that team. You got to start promoting it. And to me, and I was talking to an alum, I said, Texas Southern and the Houston community, they need one and the same.
Bruh.
Andrew Body is good friends with Trey the Truth. That needs to be a relationship that you foster and have Trey the Truth be a part of Texas Southern in some form or way.
No, I'm in total agreement. There's no way you can be in a major city like Houston. That's like if FAMU was in freaking Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know,
and no connection to the community.
That's like crazy. You know, you got all of those colored people right there in the city.
Facts.
You know, they should be connected to the program. You know, there's got to be a way, and that tells me, and that takes really commitment from the top. And once again, I know the whole story. You got one sports information person, you got one XY person, blah, blah, blah. Stop making excuses, fix it, and let's get it done. They need to be top 3. All right.
All right. ALCORN and UAPB. I want to start on the UAPB side because I think ALCORN is solidified itself as the top of the SWAC West. But UAPB has talent. Like, if you did not watch this game, UAPB has talent. Okay.
Talent.
Okay. And they got to figure out a way to put it together. And Doc Gamble has to figure out a way to put it together. I'm still on the bandwagon that number 14 should be the starting quarterback for UAPB. I don't think it should be Skylar Perry, but hey, I'm not coaching. But if Skylar Perry is the guy they want to go with, that's great. But UAPB has some talent, and if they can get it all situated in the right direction, that's a team that's just as sneaky as Bethune-Cookman. What do you got on them?
Oh, absolutely. And it was there last year. I mean, they literally had ALCORN beat last year.
Facts.
You know, just their special teams fell apart, and they let ALCORN back in the game with the lack of discipline, just continuing to make mistakes. And ALCORN being ALCORN, but it was a winnable game for UAPB, and they were killing them. So, you know, understanding that they know that they can compete now is getting from that level of competing and transitioning into winning. And that's where they have to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And ALCORN, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, man. I mean, I don't know.
Braves is finna be a tough out. If they don't have those mental breakdowns, which always show up, of course, with college teams from time to time, just being kids and just being human, you know, just having that. If they can get past that and get to the big game, they're gonna be right there.
Got you. All right. These games are self-explanatory. I'm not really going to jump too much into these games. Jackson State did what they were supposed to do. They beat Valley. I think we all picked Delaware State to beat Merrimack. It wasn't really competitive. And I picked St. Francis to beat Norfolk State. I don't know where Norfolk State is going. Norfolk State is going. I hope that Coach Dawson Odoms can get this ship turned to at least make it competitive or make them a viable contender, just a contender in the conference. But I'm not really seeing it. I'm really not, you know, I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Well, I want to say he knows that, you know, he's building towards the future. This is officially their reset year. They really were in position to win the MEAC last year, and they didn't get it done. Knowing this year, getting all of his players back, or not, these are still not his players per se, but having a decent set of players to work with. I think he just decided to play more freshmen to get his system out there and give these guys experience so they can build towards the next 2 years.
We'll see. Hopefully he can get it. He can get the shit righted, and
they give him the chance to do it.
Here we go. What whooping of the week? All right, A&T, South Carolina State. I saw about a half of this. I was flipping back and forth from other games. I have to go back and watch it in its entirety, to be completely honest with you. But I was super, super shocked to see the score that it was. And I didn't really get the score, but when I saw the stat line of Corey Fields and he threw the ball 49 times, I said, yeah, I see why. I said, if you got Corey Fields throwing the ball 49 times, it was not a good day for you. Kofi, did you watch the game?
I watched a little bit of it, like you know, but at the same time, as we were talking about on the pregame show on Saturday, you know, just really one of the things that A&T having experience against South Carolina State, they know what they're going to do, okay? And then having the experience, and not only experience, but success against South Carolina State is also a big deal. So understanding they came in understanding that they needed to be physical, to be patient and to be efficient and to make plays when they were there. And that's what happened. And unfortunately, Corey Fields, like you said, threw the ball 49 times. And that's not a South Carolina State formula for success. And they got away from what works for them. So
I don't understand what about the game. And this is the shocking part to me, that Buddy Pugh let Tutton get off. And I mean, he got off in a major way. I believe he ran for over 150 yards, had 2 receptions, 32 yards for another touchdown, had 2 rushing touchdowns. That was like, none of the quarterbacks went crazy, but it was just the fact that they could run the ball the way they did and efficiently the way they did. That's a little shocking to me, because usually Buddy Pugh is going to come up with a game plan to kind of stop
the run,
of what they're, especially what A&T, because you knew their quarterback, the quarterbacks were the shakiest position. So if I could come in and make the quarterback beat me, I'm in a good situation. But that wasn't the case. So
no, A&T's offensive line is legit, and they were able to control the line of scrimmage, and that's really the story of the ball game. Everything started really there, and they didn't make the mistakes that South Carolina State did, and made plays when they had to, and there you go.
I like to say that games aren't transitive, but if I'm NCCU, I'm looking at this like, oh, I mean, once again, games are not transitive. Anything can happen. That's football. But if I'm North Carolina Central, I'm over there like, did that just happen?
Yeah. That game that they've got to go into Orangeburg. That game was in Greensboro. NCC has to go into Orangeburg. That's not going to be easy. And just the fact that this version of the Eagles hasn't gone to the mountaintop yet. And so getting over that hump of beating South Carolina State with this version of the Eagles is a big deal. And they've just got to find a way to get it done. And until they do it, everybody's looking. But I think right now, NCC is clearly a better team.
The crazy thing is, to me, it's like if you're South Carolina State, like 7 years in a row, you haven't beat these dudes in like 7 years, and now I heard they're not on their schedule for like another 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they literally just like they just beat you and like, hey, we out. You know what I'm saying? Like, deuces. Oh man, that's. I mean, I know mentally you get over that stuff, but it's just like, dang, like right now that does kind of suck. All right, real quick, we're gonna get to buy, sell, hold. Buy, sell, hold. We gonna get into some buy, sell, hold.
Y'all need to stop with that whole South Carolina State foolishness talking about they focus on the Celebration Bowl. They got kicked to sleep. That's a rivalry game. Stop making these dumb excuses. That's crazy. They wanted to beat A&T.
It doesn't matter all that yelling you're doing. That doesn't matter. No,
that's crazy.
Because it doesn't matter all that yelling you're doing. No, it's not a rivalry anymore because they're in the Big South. All that yelling you're doing, it doesn't even matter. Isn't that that's how you say it, right? Anyway, buy, sell, hold, Gramblin's offense. Buy, sell, hold, Gramblin's offense.
Part of me wants to say, sell. But the reality is they're a work in progress. I'm on a hold.
I'm on the same bandwagon. I'm a hold. I'm a hold. And the reason is because they move the ball very well. It just always happens to be in a situation to where you're like, dang, y'all moving the ball, and then bam, fumble, bam, big time drop. So they move the ball really well. Who needs to be sold? J.R. Waters. Number one, take the number away from him, okay? Take that. Listen, no. Take that number away from him. He is not worthy of that number one, okay?
Position.
No, you need to be 00. Yeah, man, Jesus, that boy can't get hold. All right. Next. Buy, sell, and hold. Buy, sell, hold. Sell, hold. All right, next on buy, sell, hold. FAMU's defense and Willie Simmons play calling. Buy, sell, or hold?
I want to say sell so bad. I really, really do. I really, really do.
Oh, man.
But I got to hold. The team is too talented on both sides of the ball, especially, and now that everybody basically will be back this week and next week.
2 for 1.
You know, it centers around, it really centers around, they do some great stuff, right? With Musa. When Musa has the time, he's in there and they make the plays. It's like, oh, wow. But then they have that dumb play, that one dumb play. They're down there on the own 1 yard line, on their own one.
Mm-hmm.
And they run the ball out wide to Jamarie Shareed, and then we get a safety. I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
But the team, you know, they managed to recover, and they got back out there. The defense has given up a first possession touchdown in the last, I want to say the last 6 games.
Even to the D2 school?
Let's go. Let's go back to UAPB last year. Then Cookman threw an opening play bomb on the first play.
Ooh.
Southeast of Louisiana scored on a fake field goal on the first possession that they had. North Carolina scored on their second possession, so we managed to do something.
Jackson State still scoring.
Jackson State scored on the first. All right. Albany State scored on their first possession.
Wow.
Alabama A&M scored on their first possession. I'm like, what film are y'all looking at? Like, they know how you're going to line up. At what point are you going to change? Now, the good thing is they do adjust, or they have adjusted the last couple of games. And they were able to fix a lot of stuff and create a kind of energy. But the team has the talent to go and play in a cover 0. They have the ability to play an 8-man front and drop certain people back and rush the quarterback, but they're not doing it. I'm like, where's the innovation? Just think, people, think, do something. It's not working. They know what you're going to do, and they're trusting that you're going to be so traditional in your sets and when you're play calling that's that. So, got to do better.
So you're going hold, right?
I'm going hold.
I'm a sell. I gotta sell it. I gotta sell it, man. Listen, I've seen what I've seen, and what the thing I have an issue with is, and this I'm gonna say that I'm selling it for the upcoming week. I'm selling it for no. If it's upcoming week, I'm gonna buy it for the upcoming week. I'm gonna buy it for the upcoming week because you got a Valley. Okay, so I'm gonna buy it for this upcoming week. Going forward, I would be selling. Okay, I just want to say anything past Valley, I'm probably gonna be selling, but I don't know, man. Willie Simmons is not what people think he is. And if you go watch the game, and I'm going to stand on this soapbox and I'm going to keep yelling it from the rooftop. If you go watch the game, he has minimal plays that go across the middle. Minimal. And that is one of the easiest throws for a quarterback. So why not try to do your best to keep stuff going down the middle? If anybody, the only thing I saw that was successful in the middle was the post route that Xavier scored on. All right. But man, Jesus Christ.
Bro, it's like pulling teeth, bro. It's like pulling teeth. We be in the game and we just be going from one state of euphoria to one state of depression. We be sitting up at the beginning like, what the hell? What in the world is you doing? Fire! We're sitting in the stands like, run the ball, run the goddamn ball. All right, we like sitting in the stands and all kind of songs breaking out because it's like, I'm like, bro, this is, oh God, it's just bad. They got to do better.
Got you. All right, next up on buy, sell, hold. All right. Texas Southern finishes with a winning record. Buy, sell, or hold.
Bye.
Oh, oh, come on, Coach. Talk to me.
I'm a buy. This team has belief. Now, the way that this thing obviously falls apart is Body goes in the other direction, which I don't believe that he is. I believe that this team believes athletically they're going to be playing with a ton of confidence, having shut out Southern. I believe they think that they can do that. They had a very competitive game against this past weekend. So this team is building in confidence and momentum, and I think that they're going to finish strong. Their games against Grambling and the game against even this week is going to be a good one. And I want to say Alcorn. That's going to tell the tale.
All right. I'm a hold. And the reason I'm a hold, it has nothing to do with the players. It has everything to do with the coaching. I don't trust Marsh. I don't trust McKinley. I don't trust those guys. I don't. It's going to have to come down to coaching for me. And for that reason alone, I'm going to hold off on it just for a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. I'm going to hold off before I'm a full buy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes going forward. But we'll see. We'll see. But I want him to get there. I want him to get there as much as possible. Buy, sell, hold, PV as a team.
Bye.
Ooh.
Bye. They've got identity and they've got defense, and defense travels, and they know how to win games. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy them as well. Sadly. Listen, I'm bargain shopping at this point. Okay, I'm bargain shopping. I'm at Dollar Tree, but I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna say why. I'm just gonna buy. All 10 of them Twitter finger fans of PV, I'm buying, suckers. Hate you guys. Oh man, next up. Shout out to you, Coach KJ. Finding a QB for Alabama A&M. Buy, sell, the hold.
Sell, boy. Ooh, Jesus, boy. I told you, boy. Ooh, I'd heard the rumors about this darn team, boy. I'd heard the rumors that they did not have a quarterback. And Maynard had went out there and got him some 5 stars. He got him some 4 stars. He got him some 3 stars. He got him some 2 stars, but he didn't get one in the darn QB position. And when them boys lined up this past weekend, boy, I was trying to tell you, now that opening drive was a thing of beauty. That was Maynard's play calling is good.
With his script,
they had a QB, they would have beat us. If they had a QB, they would have beat us. But just watching the game, I was like, ooh, it's just only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And sure enough, he threw that nice little interception off the screen. Then he threw another one, and that was the game. Now, here's what I will say. They are athletic enough to manage the game properly. And if they can find a way to play good defense early and keep the game close late, they will have an opportunity to win. But this year it's a wrap. They do not have a QB.
Well, I mean, they played good defense in the beginning. I'm confused about what you like.
No. Play good defense in the second half.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah, they're not a 4-quarter team. Like everybody that they played up to this point, they played a good first half. Then the second half, the floodgates open up. They're unable to make those adjustments in the second half. They've been unable to get to the 4th quarter and still be in the ball game.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm a hold because I really feel because I know Quincy's there, and you just gotta go with him. Like, I'm sorry, like, and don't get me wrong, I think X does some stuff really good, but it could get really bad really quick with Xavier. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's decent or really bad. I don't know if you'll ever see like really great Xavier. So for me, I'm a hold. I think they have to willingly commit to say, hey, Quincy Casey is going to be the quarterback for our team going forward. And this is all I'm asking, right? If you put Quincy in that position, the same leeway you give Xavier for effing up, because he's good to F it up, throwing a pick, fumbling, all
That's
that.
how you lose.
If you give him the same room to make it right, you got to give Quincy Casey the same room to do well as well, because that's just the name. If you're gonna give a quarterback a game, you can't pull him. I ain't seen you pull X when he threw an interception to the guy. So you got to give Quincy Casey that same leeway or that same freedom, because Musa keep throwing picks. He just keep going back in there.
He didn't throw one Saturday.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about that. So I'm gonna just leave that alone, and that's why I'm a hold. I'm a hold on that one. I'm a hold on that one.
Jesus.
Next up. Buy, sell, hold. Buy, sell, hold. All right, ALCORN's rushing attack.
Bye. We ain't got to spend a whole lot of time on this one, do we? This is. I mean, bye. Come on, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I'm getting double.
That should have been first. Let's come on. Bye.
Can I get 2?
Yeah, right. Bye.
Can I get 20 on 10?
Bye.
Yeah.
Next. Come on, man.
Oh man. All right, cool. All right, next up. Buy, sell, hold. Buy, sell, hold. All right, buy, sell, hold. Competing for the season.
Competitive.
Yeah, I was rushing.
Competitive.
I was rushing, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not an English major.
Sorry. Competitive. We gonna that's gonna be a afterglow word. Competitive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Competitive.
You get the gist.
I think they're gonna. I think they know that they can play but they've got to get a win. What's going to solidify their ability to compete is the win. And if they don't win, that win starts going out of your cells and you don't compete as much. They've got the talent to compete. I'm a hold, darn it. I'm
with you on that. I'm with you on that. I'm a hold as well. I think that they can. I think they can do some damage, man.
Because I be wanting to sing the Mean No Line, but that song ain't bubbling up in my spirit yet.
Nah,
so
and I think
I can't do it.
If they just go with a different QB, I really think they could do something special. I really do. But to each his own. I think Doc Gamble's on the hot seat, so we'll see where he goes from there. So we'll see. All right, that is buy, sell, hold. All right, buy, sell, hold. Now going to these week 5 matchups, Kof. All right, we got some heavy hitters.
Oh.
We got Howard and Yale. We got Fan and Alley. We got PV and Grambling. We got Texas Southern and Alabama State. And we got North Carolina Central and Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to start at?
Let's go backwards and work our way back. That Central Campbell game is a big game. And, Campbell's young, but they're talented, and I believe they're well coached. But this will be a statement game for NCC to, in terms of the strength of schedule and really making a statement for the MEAC, and getting into the polls. I'm going to go with Central in this game.
Listen, I think this is what it looks like when you schedule teams. I know y'all not used to that down in Tallahassee. I know y'all not used to scheduling games like this, but this is a huge matchup. This is a huge matchup. I think this is a huge barometer because this same team is going to go play Jackson as well. So once again, games aren't transitive, but you just want to see how they compete and look against them. Man. I wish I had Ags Blue.
Bruh. But here's the thing. Central has what you need to be a solid team. They've got an identity. They've got a QB, okay, who makes plays. They've got a solid defense. They've got good, solid special teams. and they've got good coaching. Their players are in the right position, and they compete. They've got all of those elements working for them, and more importantly, right now they've got confidence and belief, having had success against A&T and another ranked team. So I'm going Central by 14.
I'm gonna do a jinx pick on this one. I'm gonna go Campbell. I'm gonna have Campbell by 10.
What sound does a camel make?
I don't know. Remember, we tried to figure it out last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But,
10. I don't know. I really don't know. That's gonna be a kicker for me. That one's gonna be a huge kicker for me. But I'm excited to see it though. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I hope it's not. I swear. I hope to God this ain't no Flow Sports. Hope to God. All right. Next up, Alabama State, Texas Southern. I don't think. Listen, this is a great barometer for Andrew Body. This is great. I mean, in the whole Texas Southern team, this is a great barometer because you know what Alabama State's gonna come in to do. They gonna run the ball. They are going to run the ball. They're gonna hit you with that same PV game plan. They're gonna run it at you, and you need Texas Southern to show up. What do you got on this one, Kof?
Same thing. This is an opportunity. If Texas Southern is going to have that winning season and got me buying stuff, I need y'all to win this game outright. I think Texas Southern has the more accomplished quarterback play, more consistent quarterback play, and that's what decides these games. I'm going with Texas Southern.
I'm not picking that game just yet. I'll pick it probably later in the week. Grambling versus PV.
PV.
I'm really interested to see this game. And the reason I'm interested to see this game is I want to see how Grambling does against PV's front four and how they attack PV secondary. Because PV secondary is honestly the weakest link of that defense. Is that front seven is really the strength of PV. But I'm going to tell you right now, Grambling's going to lose if they play number one. If that boy J.R. Waters comes striding out there, he cannot, man, they got to be another receiver that's better than this cat. Got to be, man, because I'm not going to let that go. I'm really not going to let that go. He just vexes my spirit. Every time he steps out there, I'm like, bro, why? First of all, why are you wearing number one? Because you can't catch. You cannot catch. But I think this is going to be a good test for PV. And I know PV's undefeated in the West and all that type of stuff. But I do like Hugh Jackson's play calling is pretty damn good. If you're watching the game, he sets up matchups really well. He flows the offense really well. He just needs players to make plays. I don't think they're going to make them against PV because I think their defense is that good. But I definitely think that number 10, Ryan Peppins needs to actually step up and come to play, and they need Maurice Washington. I think if Maurice Washington is in this game and he plays, he can definitely be a game breaker. But you got PV winning?
Absolutely. PV's won the last 4. These games have not necessarily been close. Grambling is coming off of 2 straight losses. They done snatched the G off these boys' helmets. It's going to be a minute. Now, obviously, Grambling is capable of pulling it. But against this defense, against this running attack that Prairie View has, I don't see Prairie View backing down from this. This is a game that Prairie View's going to win.
Yeah, I'm going with PV as well. I'm going to go PV by 14. I just don't think Grambling has enough playmakers on the offensive side of the ball to be competitive. I think defensively they'll do their damnedest. I think they'll really give PV a run for their money defensively if they can stop the run, and that's an if. But we'll see how that goes. Fam versus Valley. Now, this game might not even happen because I know the Hurricane's coming through.
It's going to happen. The Hurricane's moving west, north and northwest. It's not going to directly hit Tallahassee. They'll get a lot of rain, but it's going to happen. FAMU.
I think Valley can pull it out. I really do.
They can. They're capable, especially if Valley plays good, solid defense, which they're capable of doing, and FAMU turns the ball over, which they're capable of doing. it could definitely happen. But the game's in Bragg, and I'm going to go FAMU.
I'll say this. This is the thing. This is the reason why I think Valley has a good shot, and it's the only shot. If FAMU doesn't decide to blitz, and they play that same basic ass defense that they're used to playing, Valley's going to run through you. They're literally going to run through you. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, they're going to be in the game just because they can run the ball very effectively with Jamari Jones, Caleb Johnson. But if FAMU blitzes and puts pressure on Jamari Jones and gives exotic looks and mixes it up, I don't think Valley really has a chance. But go back to that base cover 3 defense if you want, and see if Caleb Johnson don't go for 100 yards.
Yeah, hopefully he's learned. So moving on.
But I'm a jinx pick this one. I'm gonna go FAM 2010. No, I'm gonna go FAM 31-14. That's what it should be. 31-14 FAM. Howard versus Yale. All right. Howard versus Yale. Listen, and if you listen to the Blue Bloods at any point in time, he will tell you the Ivy League is nothing to play with. Blue would tell you the Ivy League is nothing to play with. It's nothing to scoff at. Okay, because you'll hear, oh my God, the white boys. Nah, them white boys is big. I played against Yale. Them white boys is big. Okay?
And they're well coached. They are well coached. And Yale is one of the winningest programs of all time. So they know what they're doing. My thing is, if Mike London was still the coach at Howard, I would go Howard. He's not. So I'm going Yale.
Oh, yeah. It's Yale all day for me. Listen, I've played against Yale. They are just, they're some big white boys. You know, I don't know where they be finding these white boys, and they smart, but they be finding them, and them boys is big as hell. So I got Yale by 20. Easy. All right, Kofi, your game of the week.
Bethune-Cookman, the Wildcats versus Alabama A&M on the hill where they have normally 5 people in the stands. So I'm going to go Bethune-Cookman will win this game if they score points. They got to score points. Obvious, right? You got to take advantage of the opportunities and get Kamari the ball, okay? But scoring points is epic because obviously that's how you put pressure on your opponents to make mistakes. Control the tempo and the ball. And when I say control, I want to see Cookman just be disciplined and methodical. A lot of times they play with all this energy, and sometimes they just lose their discipline and they don't do the little stuff right. And that's the stuff that gets them beat against physical teams like South Carolina State and other quality opponents. But if they play within themselves and control the tempo and the ball, they're going to win the game. Obviously, they got to bring that Florida energy and be fast and explosive. And they got speed upon speed. They got speed out wide. They got speed in the backfield, and they got speed. You know, sometimes when you make mistakes and you turn the ball over, you don't end up scoring points. You have opportunities to score points like Grambling did last week, and they didn't score points. They were just there in the red zone. The Buffalo Bills were in the area last week to score points, just yesterday to score points. They didn't score points, enough points to win the game. So you got to get those touchdowns. And especially when you're on the road playing against the referees that are been known to be quite creative at Alabama A&M and really the rest of the SWAC, you got to score points. All
Listen, Wayne Morgan, when he sent me this, that's the exact same thing I was thinking. I was like, no duh. No duh. Like,
points.
What are we doing? It's football. If you don't score points, you probably don't win.
Duh.
I was thinking the same thing, bro. That's why I left that comment up there. I just want you to know you weren't by yourself on that one. All right. A&M wins if
score points. They had opportunities. And the reason why I say that is there were several plays that Maynard called.
It's so profound. I mean, oh my gosh. So profound.
The plays that A&M was there, they had several bombs to the tight end and to wide receivers that was wide open, and they missed them. Didn't score points. All right. They didn't seize the opportunities that they had. Taking the open man, being consistent, all of those things, and they got to put pressure on the Cookman QBs. If they don't If they don't, and they allow the Cookman QBs to get out there in their running lanes and really get physical and get out there, bam. There you go.
Score points.
Score points.
Score points. All right. My game of the week. UAPB versus Southern. Now, let me show you how you break this thing on down, okay?
Let's go.
Okay. And the reason I picked this as my game of the week is because Southern cannot lose this game. If they lose this game, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is about to go down at the Bluff. So listen, there will be nothing better to watch this thing just like crash and burn, like live at a watch party. I swear to God, it'll be amazing. All right, Southern wins if run the dang ball. Okay, stop, run the dang ball. Okay, blind side, run the dang ball. The defense makes Skylar Perry uncomfortable. That means putting pressure in his face. Dumas got to get there. Lane got to get there. Lewis got to get there. Greenhouse got to get. These guys have to make him uncomfortable. And Southern, you cannot put too much on Bashawn McCray. Okay? You cannot. He is not a prototypical drop back 30, 40. He's not that guy. He needs to be in that 15 to 20 range. I wouldn't even put 20. If you can make it like 15 attempts, that's great. Okay? That would be great. I would do 15 attempts and maybe like 7 or 8 QB runs or QB powers or something like that. All right? So that's how Southern wins. All right? You don't put too much on McCray. UAPB wins if. That's what y'all said about Texas Southern, you lost. So you might want to shut up, okay? You just might want to shut up. I wish I had a bullhorn, like for real. Make Bashawn McCray beat you. Listen. I cannot listen. This should have been 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Make Bashawn McCray beat you. Make him beat you with his arm. Make him be a quarterback. All right. You cannot let them run you out the gym. Can't let them do it. Can't do it. All right. Have a balanced attack. You got to run the ball. Stay balanced, run, pass, try to stay balanced on that. Skylar Perry has to come to play. And on top of Skylar Perry having to come into play, those receivers got to catch passes. You can't put it all on Prince. And if anybody don't know who Prince is number 80. That kid is different. Do you understand what I'm saying? 80 from UAPB, he's absolutely different. But you can't put all the pressure on Skylar Perry. The wide receivers have to step up. They have to do it. They have to do it. They have to do it. All right. Kofi, let me call lines are open because that's the end for us. Let me get these before you score points, Kofi. Let me get these call lines open for you. Go.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
All right, Kofi. Your score for A&M and your game of the week.
All right. So I'm going to go Bethune-Cookman wins this game. And I sent you.
You know it's A&M's homecoming.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's A&M homecoming, just to give you a heads up.
All the more reason that Cookman's going to win this game. I'm going to say Cookman 35, Alabama A&M 21.
I can see it, but this is how I see it, right? I think they continue to build on top of those defensive scores that they had against Grambling, because that number 24, Darnell D's, and special team, I think he might do something on special team and flip the field or something like. He's special. He's a special kid, real fast, talented and gifted, and has a nose for the ball and has a nose for the end zone. Listen, Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Bethune. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Bethune. I'm gonna go Bethune 24, A&M 17. Bethune 24, A&M 17, and I hope that A&M. I hope A&M makes me a liar, but they really need to start committing more to the run. If you got to run
They
the
don't
ball,
have a choice, bro.
yeah.
I know Maynard wants to throw the ball, but they really need to do about 80-20 run pass ratio.
Nah, not that much. I'll say about 70-30, 60-40, something like 80-20. I don't that's damn near like triple option type stuff. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be that extensive. Because I do think that Xavier can throw the ball. I do believe Quincy Casey can throw the ball. I just think that they need to be a run first team now, not a pass first team. They definitely need to be a run first team. And I'm not talking about run.
But they've got the players and stuff out wide. They got the skilled people to do it. They've got the quickness to do it. But the QB keeps missing throws, and in order for them to be successful, these guys literally have to be like wide open. And playing and throwing the ball against Bethune-Cookman is a play right into their hands. If you do that a whole lot, they'll beat you. Unless you're
I don't know about that because I mean, if I'm being honest, Grambling had Bethune on the ropes. They just couldn't catch the ball. Like, I mean, they weren't doing it like Bethune. If you watch, like Bethune really was not doing anything special, but they just kept causing turnovers. The guy would be running, and then they do a strip on the back end. Like that ain't. I mean, like
but that's Cookman football. That's what they do.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to tell you, I've seen it up close on several occasions. And unfortunately, the teams that normally give Cookman problems are teams that really establish the run. And they maintain that level of aggression on the ground consistently. If you do that, you end up beating Cookman more often than not. But when you make it and you start having to throw, you get them third and long situations, even when you make plays, they always find a way to get the turnover in the secondary, whether it be a fumble by the wide receiver or an interception. That's how they play.
Can't blame them on that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Bethune. I'm gonna go Bethune low scoring. I think I said 21-14, 21-17, something like that. Give me your score for let me go first for the Southern and UAPB.
Okay, so this game was in Baton Rouge. The thing is, UAPB, the last time that they were there, had success. And so they're not going to be afraid of going into that environment. And I believe that they feel, especially with the way that they played last week, that they can win this game. And part of that is going to go into that. So I'm looking for Skylar Perry to go in there with a ton of confidence. Man, I hate picking against Southern. I'm going to go Southern at home 28-24.
28-24. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm picking Southern. And I'm going to pick the score. I'm going to pick it how this game should be, even though I don't think the score is going to be. The score should be 35-14. That's what the score should be. If this is a close game with UAPB, if I'm a Southern fan, I'm very scared. I am very worried. I'm just going to tell you straight up. If Southern does not score over 30 points, you should be very worried about the Southern Jaguars.
Let me ask you this. So the Texas Southern shutout against Southern University, was the game plan that good, or was it the fact that you don't think that Southern came with their best, or a combination of both?
I don't think it would have anything to do with Texas Southern's game plan. I think offensively they did what they did very well, Texas Southern. I don't think Dooley offensively did what his team did very well. And it's not So my question is, how much did Texas Southern's defense have to do with Southern's execution on offense? Not much, because it was just bad. It was bad execution. Like you're asking a quarterback to do stuff that he can't do. and he kept throwing. That's why they got all those turnovers because of the quarterback being asked to do more than he can do. So if you go into this game against UAPB expecting your quarterback to do that again, or to be like, you know what, that was a fluke, we're going to come back and we're going to throw the ball 30 times with Bashawn McCray, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. It's because if I'm Doc Gamble, and I said, and anybody who's been watching this show, I said it before the Texas Southern game. I said, wherever Bashawn McCray's head turns to, everybody needs to be running that way because that's where the ball's going. He will never go like this. Never. So wherever his head turns, everybody needs to go that way because that's where the ball is going to. So that's literally all Texas Southern did was just like they dropped out. Because the turnovers that he was given, he just literally was just throwing it. They
were shut out, bro. They scored 17 on LSU and got shut out by Texas Southern.
It is at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. But I think at this point, it comes down to Dooley saying, what team do I have? Now, if you want to throw the ball the way he wants to, he's not the guy. You're going to have to go Blood. You're going to have to go Bubba McDaniels. Somebody that's a capable passer to go through progressions. But if you're going to stick with Bashawn McCray, you better have a game plan that fits what Bashawn McCray can do very well. And it better be some very easy reads. Simple, easy, low-hanging fruit reads. Because if not, that game could get really ugly really quick. And he missed a lot of passes, sailing them, throwing them low. Okay, you sell a pass in the middle if you want to. That ends up being picks. You sell a pass going to the boundary on a hitch route. That ends up being a pick. So stuff like that, he has to be very cognizant of. So I don't know, but I'll say this: Southern needs to win that game by at least 2 touchdowns. If they're supposed to be the offensive juggernaut they're going to be. Now, if they want to, if they want to run the ball, I don't mind if you win that game by 10 because you're going to your strength. But if you want to pass the ball and you don't win this game by 21 points, something's wrong with something. Southern Jaguars need to be very worried about Dooley and his offensive game plan. Smash, coming to you. What's up, Smash?
Scotty, I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying, Doc. It was never a point at that game down 21 where I feel like Southern couldn't come back at all. I feel like it was just a matter of them messing up versus Texas Southern doing good. Shout out to Andrew Body, you know what I'm saying? He balled out, but it was never a moment where I feel like, they can come back. They can come back. And that was like, I just think the score don't indicate it, but they wasn't that great of a team. You know what I'm saying? So, I just feel like it was Southern just messing up and not executing. And like a couple people saying on the blog, they were like, maybe they was bung up from the week before. You know what I'm saying? That's why I agree with you. I need to see this game to see, what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? But just being there watching it, it wasn't like, they just magnificent. I just feel like Southern was to execute. That's my thing.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think that the execution failed on the quarterback because there were guys running wide open. I mean, Scott free, like Ali oxen free, wide open. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't.
Bomb.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't, but he just couldn't hit him. So it's not like Dooley's play calling was bad. It just the execution.
So why won't Dooley play the other QBs?
So from what I have been heard, what I've been hearing is that Bashawn McCray and Dooley, Bashawn McCray's dad and Dooley are really good friends, and they were a package deal. Him and his brother. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Tell you what I heard. That's what I heard. We're on the street. But go ahead, Smash. If you know something, I don't know.
Your news is news to me. I damn sure want to say last game when we couldn't score. When we got down the field, we just couldn't really get across the end zone. I would rotate everybody from the offensive lineman to the damn to the kicker. Give everybody a chance to play. Because like I said, it's no knock at Texas Southern. Andrew Body did a good job. It just wasn't impressive. Like, damn, they just can't score this thing. You know what I'm saying? Then the kind of disco, they called it back.
Yeah.
So that's why, like I said, Scotty, I agree. They need to be the sleeves all year at PB, and I need to see something impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm having questions too. But I still think they're offensive juggernaut, and I agree. Run the damn ball. Stop trying to throw it. Run it. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But that's what time, Scotty.
Hey, appreciate it, Smash. I mean, Kofi, you're asking legit questions. You know, like you're asking. I mean, you're asking legit questions. Like, what is it supposed to look like? What is it supposed to do? All this type of stuff. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. But
I've seen, games can get away from you real quick. When you make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get down multiple scores, it's just crazy when teams just give up bomb after bomb after bomb. And so when you don't have that guy as your QB that's going to be patient enough to work the ball down the field and execute what the defense is giving them, it's a bad sign. It's like I've got to have somebody with that skill set on my team so that in my time of need, I can go to them and they can bail us out.
That's what you would expect. And for me, this is my issue. If you're an offensive guru, right? Like that's the thing. Dooley's an offensive minded guy. Dooley's an offensive genius.
They got shut out by Texas Southern.
The fact that you weren't willing, that you were too stubborn to change your game plan, that tells me that you're not the offensive guy you think you are. Like that's my pet peeve about it, is that you never changed your stripes to be like, okay, this ain't working, let's try this. But you just stuck with it. JB, coming to you. You live.
Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
What's up, JB?
Nothing much. First of all, just want to say I'm happy my Wildcats finally got off the schneid, got that dub. And Kofi, I think you forgot to include one thing about us winning. If we get rid of the damn penalties, that would really be a helpful thing.
That's a Sims calling card, though. Wildcats get penalties every year. It's the same BS every year with the penalties. They do it. That's why Buddy Pugh always beats them.
Yeah, no. And I got bad memories of the game last week. Now, speaking of that, Scott had a conversation about this earlier in the week. I'm trying to be a better person. But after the stuff I saw today, I actually had to actually caught me in a glass of some Japanese scotch right now. And I'm on some Japanese scotch because of the comments that were made earlier about someone being a Heisman Trophy candidate. Now, let me ask both of y'all a question. Y'all are very smart gentlemen. Can you be a Heisman Trophy candidate if you're the 5th-rated quarterback in the FCS?
Not legitimately.
Let Kofi tell it you could. Let Kofi tell it you could.
No. You taking what I'm saying out of it. A lot of this Heisman candidacy has a lot to do with the people voting you and giving you a opportunity to say. I don't think that Deion's all that serious about it. I think that Deion's trying to set his son up for next season.
Okay.
And I think he's just trying to put his name out there. I mean, obviously, if you're 5th and 6th rated as the QB in your division, then it is what it is. I just, I think he's legitimately trying to put his name and circulate his name so that people will begin to at least inquire about how good he is and look at Jackson State games.
And, I understand that. And, and I had a conversation with a good friend of mine earlier who's actually in this chat.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let me address Jack Boy. I did not say that he could win the Heisman. I said he's going to be a candidate. He's going to be a legitimate candidate. He's going to be a candidate. I mean, you might as well get your mind right. He's going to be a candidate. Now, I don't think he's going to win, but he's going to be a candidate. His name's going to be right up in there. And just imagine Deion being in New York in that darn room, because Deion's got that type of media prowess.
He's never going to make it to the room. Stop. What?
I'm just saying.
Oh my, play it, JB.
Yeah. No problem. And speaking about the candidates, I'm actually have the stats here right in front of me, if you don't mind or whatnot. And sorry I missed the first half of your show. And I'll land this plane quickly. I'll be very, very brief. 2 of the 4 guys that are ahead of them, I think the guy from Eastern Kentucky and, of course, Lincoln Scott UIW, both of them have FBS wins this season. And the guy who's number 1 leading the FCS, his name is Tim DeMorat out of Fordham, of the Patriot League, I think. He just went for 500 plus and 6 TDs against FBS University of Ohio this past weekend. So,
Jackson State's schedule hands down works against them, but that's not going to prevent Deion from making it didn't prevent Deion from making his statement. It didn't prevent Deion from making or putting his son's name out there. And again, I don't think that he's legitimately looking at Shedeur as being a candidate this year. What I am saying is he's trying to put it out there for next year. That's just my thoughts.
Well, I get it. And that part I absolutely understand. That part of grass. He's trying to create a buzz. Understood, trying to create that buzz, trying to get people to watch. But the thing is, and see, this is from Atlanta Plane and whatnot, and once again, trying to start part of your show, is that when people say this stuff, and I'm saying you, I'm talking about the people who are puffing their chest up and everything else, and then when you bring up actual stats that run counter to their arguments, like, that kind of stuff. So that's all.
I mean, the JSU fans legitimately, they're going to back their guy. That's what they're going to do.
Of course.
That's what they do. That's what's going to happen. And rightfully so. That's their team. But again, I remember Steve McNair being on the darn cover of Sports Illustrated for the Heisman. So it's going to be a discussion. Whether he wins or not, that's a totally different deal. I don't think he's going to, but he's going to be in the discussion because Deion going to try his best to make sure that he's a part of the discussion.
Scotty, before I get off this call or whatnot, to that ask about Japanese scotch, actually the bottle I have is $150 a bottle, sir. So you might want to research some of your BS too before you say something else.
You said what?
And that's all I got.
You said what? What'd you say?
Oh no! Some ass clown is talking about some Japanese scotch is cheap. Actually, it's very expensive.
Oh.
I'm drinking my bottle's like $150 a bottle right now. Very good stuff. So yeah, let me get back to this.
Look, don't be sleeping on that Japanese wine, liquor, all that stuff. I'm trying to tell you, boy.
I think it's called sake, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's called Scott. I think it's called like sake or.
My clients brought me some of that stuff. It's legit.
Because I know, I think Korea called theirs soju, and then theirs is called sake. So something like that. Maybe I could be wrong, could be right. It don't matter to me. But I just listen, man. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. And listen, I got stats here. Let me read you off some stats of some top FCS contenders. Right. Eric Berrier of last year had 5,200 yards and 50 touchdowns. No vote for the Heisman candidate. Kelly, the guy who beat y'all, Southeast Louisiana, Cole Kelly. You remember Cole, right? Okay. The one that Isaiah Land couldn't touch. You remember that? Okay. 73% completion percentage. 5,600 yards. 54 touchdowns. No vote for the Heisman candidate. McNair, 6,000 total yards, 56 touchdowns. I'm just saying. But, all right, coming to you, Dre. That's evidence for your ass, Sean. That is evidence for your ass right there. Boom.
Man, it is. Boy, he making it hot. I think it's one of the things where on the FCS level, he's going to have to do something that's never been done. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one in the SWAC has still haven't beaten the FCS program. So he's going to have to do something like that first. Because you need to do, everything else, he could put up numbers. Plenty of people that put up numbers. But for him to be legitimate when people ask the question, okay, should he? He has to do stuff that's never been done and everything. So, I mean, I think talent-wise, he will have the numbers and, I think he can compete with talent-wise with a lot of them, but, I mean, that's far-fetched because the competition just isn't good enough, to be honest. I mean, the second-best team got blown out by like 50. So,
thank you, Dre.
The competition just isn't good enough. But next year, when he plays that FBS team, that's going to show you a lot and everything. Because if he puts up 300 against them and they win, that's going to be something that has never been done on that level. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, for them to have a question, he's going to have to do something that's never been done.
Okay? I'm just gonna leave it alone because I'm gonna really get a headache, and I don't even get headaches.
Yeah, that's like I mean now.
Get a headache, and
now he's in good contention for the Walter Payton Award because he's gonna have the numbers.
Which is way more realistic. If people were talking about that, I'm cool. I'm absolutely cool with it.
And then he out of the three, he might be the best quarterback out of the ones that are, but that's definitely more realistic. Like I can see him winning that. I can even see him being invited to the ceremony.
Time out. That kid just put up 400 yards on the University of Ohio, and he don't have half the talent Shedeur has.
Well, I mean, that's why we always talk about like patent stats. You have to do that because your conference was this was the year where the stuff was supposed to make that big jump where everybody got FBS transfers and this, that, and the other. What have I said before? Did they catch up with them from last year? Now mentioning
you're talking around the point. I don't that didn't have shit to do with nothing I was saying. I said I'm closing these call lines now. What you got? I'm not about to deal with this foolishness. I'm about to go watch my Cowboys play. I'm not about to deal with that. That's just stupid. Because the kid threw for 500 yards against Ohio. He don't have half the talent Shedeur has, and Shedeur might be better quarterback. Huh? What? I'm sorry, man. I'm not about to deal with this tonight. I'm really not. Go ahead. Coffee, what you got coming up this week?
We got the ONG Strike Zone, my brother. ONG Strike Zone coming up this Wednesday, talking about family football, obviously talking about the hurricane by then. And, of course, our AD search. It is the search that doesn't end. And it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started doing it, not knowing what it was. And it's the FAMU 80 search and ever just because it is the search. So I'm ready for it then.
Man, I just, man, listen.
It's not that difficult. It's really not.
Who is, y'all got any guests coming up? Y'all have any guests on the?
We got a couple of football players that'll be on there. And possibly one of the coaches from the football staff, but we'll see. So we're taking it from there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tuesday, as of right now, I'm going to either do a film breakdown of some games or I'm gonna do something else. I don't know at this point in time. As the spirit moves me, I'll move with it. All right. Wednesday, Mike Reed, me, Jack State recap of the Valley game. That'll be a very, very short episode because it ain't talk about because they're on a bye week and things like that. We'll probably talk about Dion and his Jesus Christ Jr. son for Heisman, part 2 over there. Thursday, you already know me, my boy Blue. All right. Table, it is what it is. And Friday, Perry White will be back on the channel to talk about UAPB Southern, breaking down that game before the game on Saturday. And game of the week for me, UAPB versus Southern. That will be my game of the week. So that'll be doing a watch party for that. If there's an earlier game, it'll either be between Texas Southern, Alabama State, or NCCU and Campbell. Those will probably be my other games that I might be doing a watch party for. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So guys, appreciate your time. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you like this damn stream. Listen, before you leave, go to the GoFundMe in the description below for the young man from ALCORN State who lost his mom and lost his sister. Please donate, support, be a community for this young man. He's probably having one of the most tragic times of his life. Let's be there for him. Let's support him. Send 10, 15, 20, 30. It does not matter. Anything helps, all right? And if you have people that you think wants to give or know they have a kind heart that want to give as well, don't stop there. Keep sharing it, keep pushing it, and make sure that we get this in as many hands as possible. Okay. So, guys, please, 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 in the description below, it's the GoFundMe. Support, support, support. All right. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holla. God bless.